Hello from Universal. I'm at Universal to go to Halloween Horror Nights tonight to attempt to try to do all 10 Halloween Horror Nights houses tonight. I was parked on the topmost level all the way down at the very end. That's probably the farthest I've ever parked at Universal before. And this is the rideshare area. This is really cool. I've never seen this before, but I'm heading down the escalator and through security and over to Universal. So I missed the opening ceremonies, but I'm anticipating that it would not have mattered too much by the time that I make it over to the front gate to the Universal Arch over there, just due to how long it took me to get into Universal the first time that I did Halloween Horror Nights. Alright, so I've made it through security and I'm heading to Universal. I should be inside by about 7 o'clock and the park closes at 2 a.m. tonight. It is pretty busy tonight. That is somewhat of an understatement. I'm going to try to utilize a strategy today. The strategy right now is just to make it inside the park. I do need to remember to refrain from any horseplay tonight. I'll have to keep that in mind. Okay, so this works out in my favor. There's not really much of a line out here to get inside. I'll be inside by 7 p.m. So right now my strategy is to go to the very back of the park. I've done the majority of houses at the front of the park. The event technically sort of just opened, so I'm thinking that the back of the park is probably my best option to try to get some houses done. So I'm walking through the Zodiac Scare Zone now. I'm going to see if I can try to find a Virgo and a Gemini. Okay, so this is Gemini over here with the two faces, but I don't know if I see a Virgo. So this is Virgo right here. Hello! So I know that was super quick, but I want to really make it to some houses just to try to do as many as possible before it gets incredibly busy. But it's always busy now, I guess. Walking through the Jungle of Doom Scare Zone. Right now there's Oddfellow. It looks different in the daytime. It looks really cool. So I wanted to pull off to the side because I did get this pamphlet here for Halloween Horror Nights that showcases not all, but a lot of the food here and merchandise. And then it actually has a map on the inside here as well for all the scare zones, the various houses, the rides that are open. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing the very first house that I encountered. That would be the Universal Monsters house. It depends on the wait time, probably. So I decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back to Universal Monsters over here, head over to Dr. Oddfellow's, and then come back for some pizza fries. You can see some more construction over there for Shrek's Swamp. All of the houses are over an hour wait, by the way, already, and the event hasn't even been open for an hour. I think that this is probably the best idea. It's not the best idea, but it's the idea that I'm going with, at least, because I am really hungry. I want to come and get some pizza fries this year. The sun has almost set, but I think I want to start in the very farthest back portion of the park that I can. Okay, so I'm over in Springfield right now, trying to take the less crowded pathway. And this is the Peacock Bar over there, and I was trying to see if I could maybe see David S. Pumpkins from across the lagoon, but I do not think that he's out quite yet. Where I'm heading is Dr. Oddfellow's house, which is way over there next to the stadium for Nightmare Fuel. Right now it's posting a 50-minute wait for that house, but I think it's going to be worth it. I hope so. I'm going to have to go back for Darkest Steel and The Last of Us, each 75-minute waits. So this is where I'm going right over here. This is Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. This is next to the stage, and this is, I think, what the wait is out here. This isn't great. So this has been a house in years past, but it doesn't look like it is now. There is this tent here. Alright, so I finally turned the corner, and I guess this is just a special events tent back over here by Men in Black. This is behind Men in Black. I got my little Q ticket back there. I don't know if they'll ever collect these, but you never know, right? Okay, so I'm finally turning and heading down towards Dr. Oddfellow's house, which is that incredibly colorful tent down there. So I'm getting close to the front of the line for Oddfellow. This is the line for the Darkest Steel, and there's a very large unused extended queue for something. Never mind, I guess this was the line for this house, so I don't even know how far away I am at all. Okay, so this was the line for Express. There's just one sort of final down and back there for Standby. So I'm heading inside Dr. Oddfellow's house here. This is the Twisted Origins house. You won't be able to resist going inside this menacing menagerie of twisted oddities. The price, your soul to feed his immortal power. This is really exciting. It's nice to just finally move, because we were standing there pretty stagnant for a long time. That was well over an hour of a wait time. Okay, that was great. That was absolutely worth the wait. That one was so much fun. Very, very high on my list. Passing by this house over here, I'll probably come back and do that in a little bit. I think I'm gonna go to the Universal Monsters house. I don't really envy coming back and doing this later on though, because God, these lines are pretty rough over here. It's interesting that this is the exit, which is also the entrance. So it's a 100-minute wait for The Last of Us, and it's a 45-minute wait, allegedly, for The Darkest Steel. I think I'm going to do it. So I was going to do The Darkest Steel, but now it's a 65-minute wait. They changed it right as I walked up, so I'll come back and do this, and then The Last of Us 2. So if I go do Universal Monsters, I can get some pizza fries over there and then come back. I am really hungry, though, so I don't know if pizza fries alone will satiate my appetite tonight. They do have some unique stuff at this food truck back over here, but I think we'll come back to that maybe with Brennan to do something a little bit more unique. If I'm about to wait another hour though, it would be nice to bring something in line with me, like a drink. So the bar's over here, they have some twisted taters, and I think I can get a beverage over here. So I changed my mind because these lines aren't really moving very fast. There is like a little mobile bar over here, right here, that I already walked past, and I just want a beer. So I got a lacto cooler back there. This one is for you, Brennan, but it's technically for me because I bought it and I'm going to drink it. This is a 60-minute wait, and of course it just ends here. This is for Universal Monsters Unmasked. This is just so interesting how it's the queue for ET, and it's very different this year in terms of how they're, I mean, I guess it's similar how they're exiting, but having to go through the building itself. So this line goes down and back multiple times, and then all the way to the sound stage that would usually be occupied back over there. And I got my little my ticket. So far this line is moving significantly faster than the other line did to the other house. So this is back of house over here by ET Adventure. Back to this street, and this should be just a straight shot all the way down to the soundstage. So in 2017, I worked Halloween Horror Nights, and my break room was a trailer that was over here in the kids' zone area. It's not here anymore, right? So I made it to the house, I think. Darn, this was deceptive. I still have to do all of this queue over here. This is the Last of Us house, and then the exit to the Last of Us. And I'm trying to figure out, how does this house get over here? This is so interesting. This being the Last of Us, so it must come from that direction. So it doesn't come to the kids' zone like it used to. Back when kids zone was a thing, to the Barney queue. This looks like the exit for both houses over here, so it's pretty cool what they're doing this year. Okay, I'm heading inside the house. This is Monsters Unmasked. Descend into the Paris catacombs and face a new horde of infamous monsters. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Phantom of the Opera, and more. Alright, so I just did the Monsters house. That one started and ended really well. The middle part of it, though, I think was not great at all, so I need to try to figure out where that stands with me. The Oddfellow house was really, really good. I don't know. I need to think about it. Universal Monsters did end up taking, I think, about an hour, maybe like a little bit less. It's 10 o'clock now, so the event is over in about 4 hours. And I'm just to walk through this entire crowd all the way back to ET. So I think that I've committed to the fact that I'm not going to be able to do all 10 houses tonight because it's just too busy. So I have 4 hours left to go and then 4 houses left to do. But I know that I definitely need some dinner because I have not eaten. I worked earlier today, then I drove straight here, and it was supposed to take 15 minutes, but it took an hour. So I'm going to get some pizza fries because I'm starving. This portion of the queue is not being used like it was earlier, but I'm heading inside ET. This is so weird. I think after this I'm heading back towards The Last of Us and I guess The Darkest Steel, just because I'm over here, and this just exits through ET. That's so wild. Not really, but it's weird. So I'm considering getting both the pizza fries as well as the dessert fries over here, the sweet potato s'mores fries. I've not had either of these in so long. It's going to be so worth it. So I finally got my pizza fries and my s'mores fries. I am going to absolutely devour these. That is very hot. It took a little while to get it because they have a system where you order it and then you stand in line and then you pick it up, and that did take a little while, but I'm over here by SpongeBob SquarePants. This is where the meet and greet usually is. So I haven't had pizza fries in a while, and they are still so good. S'mores fries. I don't know if I remember these being like heavy. Those are both so good. I needed that. There's like a seasoning on these fries that's just so delicious, and we did try to replicate this a couple years ago, but I don't know, it's just phenomenal. I wish there was more like marinara sauce, but the amount of cheese and the pepperonis, the seasoning on the fries, the sausage is okay, but it's delicious. And then this is just so sweet with the marshmallows and the, I guess, are there graham crackers in here? Crumbles? Yes, on top. And then the chocolate, for the marshmallows and the sweet potato fries. In my bag, I brought this charger, which this is absolutely necessary. And then I got a couple Gatorades because you can bring in bottled drinks into HHN now, which is like an absolute game changer. I needed this. It's interesting, the little bar cart that I ordered from earlier is not here anymore, but I'm heading back over where I was to do The Last of Us / The Darkest Deal. Probably The Darkest Deal first. Brennan and I should be coming back again together at some point, so I'm hoping we can do some more of the unique food when we come back together. I am so tired right now, but I'm excited to be here to do this, to at least complete all of the houses that I need to do. I'm afraid of what the wait times are going to be back over here, but I need to come do these at some point, and I don't want to have to come all the way back over here to do them. This is pretty spooky. I'm not too crazy with the crowds back over here, but it looks like it's a 50-minute wait for The Darkest Deal. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this one because it's an 85-minute wait for The Last of Us. There's no one in front of me right now, which is not the best sign when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights. But hopefully I don't have to wait an incredible amount of time. This was the line for Dr. Oddfellow, which just was so confusing. So I got my ticket and I was sent over here. There's Dr. Oddfellow's house entrance, and I'm heading to this green tent. So I just need to go through all of these down the backs to make it inside this house. I presume that was like the extended queue back there that I passed by when I was waiting for Oddfellow. Interestingly, I'm having a lot of fun just trying to piece the lines together, just where the exits are and just what lines go to which haunted houses, I guess. I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do next. It would make the most logical sense to do The Last of Us, but that wait time is just ridiculous. So I'm about to head inside The Darkest Deal. The description for this is, if I can read it off of the paper here, it says, blues musician Pine Straw Spruce meets at a crossroads with a diabolical entity known as the Collector to make a deal, this time for fame, or no, his soul for fame. And I'm heading inside this house right now. That didn't take very long. Okay, I just did The Darkest Deal. That one was good. I really liked the sets of that one. This is where the exit line meets up the Oddfellow exit line. It's sort of fun just making a full lap around the house. Okay, what do I do next? Okay, so what I'm just going to do is just immediately U-turn and go right back where I came from. It's currently an 85-minute wait, but I think I can handle it. Maybe. At least I'm over here. I don't know anything at all about The Last of Us, so this should be entertaining. It's actually sort of cool how they did this year, so I'm just heading all the way down to the soundstage that's pretty much adjacent to the monster's house. So those are the exits for those houses. I'm just continuing walking straight past these portable buildings. So I guess this is where the actual lines start. So this is all of standby straight ahead. I got my ticket that I have still yet to use. Let's see how long this takes. So I think I have definite regrets with doing this. No, I think I should have done this at the very, very end of the night. It's been about an hour, and I've only waited with about half of this outdoor queue. So I've made the final turn in this just god-awful line. This is the worst line I think I've ever waited in for Halloween Horror Nights. It's posting a 115-minute wait. That's the exit to Universal Monsters over there. I think that this is the queue for Express. At least I hope so. When I got in line for this, I had a little over 2 hours until the park closed, and after I get out of this house, I'll have 1 hour left pretty much. And then also for reference, I've been here for over 6 hours, and I've accomplished 3 houses, and I had a quick stop for dinner. Other than that, I've just been waiting in line. So this actually did end up taking 85 minutes. This is The Last of Us house. You and your squad must stay silent if you want to survive clickers and more. As the gritty world of Naughty Dog's video game comes to life. That was complicated to read that off of the paper. And I did The Last of Us house. Oh my god. I didn't know anything that was going on in there. The park closes in 1 hour now, and I have 2 houses left to do. This is somewhat amusing. The line just to exit the houses is longer than the lines for the houses. Right now, The Exorcist is posting a 25-minute wait. Now the lines just stopped. And then Chucky is a 35-minute wait. This line exiting situation is not ideal at all. It keeps just stopping. It's really weird. I'm not a fan of that. But I'm heading to, I think, The Exorcist and then ending my night, hopefully with Chucky. I think that's all I'm probably going to have time for. Definitely all that I'm going to have energy for tonight. If I can just do the houses tonight, accomplish those that I have not done yet, I will feel accomplished. Heading back through this scare zone, and then I think probably cutting across Transformers. It's still pretty busy though, so hopefully I have enough time to do this. I should be okay on time, but you never know. These wait times can be over-exaggerated, under-exaggerated. They've been pretty accurate though the entire night, so that's been good. Alright, so straight ahead for The Exorcist, and then Chucky is over here by Fast and Furious. I'm faster behind Transformers because it's going to be a little bit easier to get in line. This night has made me so tired. but it's a 25-minute wait for The Exorcist. This line is not as empty as I would like for it to be, but it's moving pretty quickly, and it probably depends on the express. I feel like every time I make a decision about what houses I want to go to and why, trying to understand the psychology of the people at HHN, then I don't know. So the wait time for Chucky went down, and this one's a little bit longer than I thought, but I should be inside soon and still have time to make it over to Chucky. I'm getting so close. I just need to head inside the soundstage. I'm almost there. I've almost completed all 10 houses. Not in one night. This is really cool, just walking underneath the Red Rocket while the coaster's running. So I still should be really good on time. I just need to head inside the soundstage here. So that was cool. I just went inside the soundstage, and now I'm outside of the soundstage, and I have one more house to do. That one was not my favorite at all, but it was still. I'll talk about this later probably, but I like the sets. I think that's what I really, really like about Halloween Horror Nights. That was the entrance just right around the corner for Exorcist, and I'm heading to Chucky. So I've been through New York, through Vamp 69. 15 and 20-minute waits over here are so tempting. What I have to do, Chucky. It's getting a little bit quiet over here. Now it's almost getting a little bit awkward. I can't even see where I'm going. Oh my God. This is fun though. I have 15 minutes left, but I think I did it. And there it is, a 10-minute wait for Chucky. I didn't even read the entry here on the map for The Exorcist. The Exorcist Believer. 2 missing girls have been found with no memory of what happened, but wherever they went, the ultimate evil has returned with them. That was for sure. This is the line for Chucky next to First Aid, which goes all the way back here in this extended outdoor queue for Fast and Furious, which there's not much of a queue for right now at all, which is great. So this is Chucky. Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. Chucky is back for a new gore fest. He's hijacked his haunted house with lots of bloody hijinks to try to survive his ultimate kill count. Okay, cool. Just reading this off of the map. This just goes through the queue for Fast and Furious, but it's a little bit more eerie because it's nighttime. And this is where the line stops outside in the dark. So I'm here on a Sunday, and I'm trying to figure out why it is so busy. And I think that it's because the Rush of Fear Pass, today is the last day that they can use their passes. And then also the Premier Pass holders, I think this is the last weekend day that they can use their passes. And then also just generally, I think the higher tiered passes are going to include like Saturdays as opposed to Sundays. So I don't know. I feel like just today is just a combination of different factors why it's so busy tonight. Okay, so I just got out of the house over there after entering into the house inside. That one was actually fun. It is almost 2 o'clock in the morning, so I might be able to sprint to a house to do another house, but I think I'm good. Halloween Horror Nights is over in like a minute, pretty much. But I've done all of the houses over here multiple times now at this point, but I think they are definitely my favorites, which I did categorize my list of my favorite houses this year. It's kind of fun. Right now I'm just a very empty scare zone, a little bit awkward. So I still know what we need to come back and do. We need to go into the tribute store finally. We need to see the show, Nightmare Fuel. We need to, what else do we need to do? We need to see the Megan Horde, and then we need to see the Death Eaters too. We have a lot to do. The scare actors just went inside. So the event is now over. Halloween Horror Nights is concluded, and I did all 6 houses that I wanted to do. It was actually sort of sad because people were running up to houses right as they closed and weren't able to get into the houses, so that's a bummer. It's never going to not be weird that there's not a scare zone right here, at least this year. It really seems like the best way to do Halloween Horror Nights is just to show up in the last couple hours, and you can just do all of the major houses that you really want to do. I am so tired, though, and I didn't even do all 10 houses. Maybe just doing all 10 houses in one night wasn't meant to happen this year. I did do all 10 houses, but if I had maybe done Stay and Scream, obviously that would have helped a lot, but that would have been a dedication of about 10 hours to Halloween Horror Nights. That would have been something. So my personal house rankings from my least favorite to my favorite, number 10 being The Exorcist Believer, number 9, Chucky Ultimate Kill Count, number 8, The Last of Us, number 7, The Darkest Deal, number 6, Universal Monsters Unmasked, number 5, Stranger Things 4, number 4, Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins, number 3, Blood Moon Dark Offerings, number 2, Yeti Campground Kills, and number 1, Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate. And I mentioned it earlier, I think that when it comes to Halloween Horror Nights for me, personally, I think it's less about the scares and more about the environment and the sets of these stories that very talented people create and manifest into these houses, and just being able to walk through certain scenery and sets. I don't know, that's the immersion that I really crave and look for when I come to Halloween Horror Nights, and what makes me prefer a house over another house, because it's not necessarily like an IP familiarity or an original house concept, which are huge factors in just enjoying this event and just houses at Halloween Horror Nights, but I just love the sets, and I think that was reflected in my list when it came to sort of original houses over IP houses. But this is a tentative list too, because we're going to come back, hopefully, and maybe do some more houses. I know that there's ones that I did tonight that I probably don't need to do again. And I had a good time. I was surprised that I was happy that I got to do all the houses that I wanted to do, but I was surprised that it took that long to do all of them. And I've always been a big personal advocate of not needing to buy express or RIP tours, and just a proponent of just going and enjoying the event. But maybe it's not possible anymore, and I could have done it, I think, if I did stay and Scream, or if I did it on a not busy night where there was a lot of perpendicular intersections of just reasons for this to be a busy night. But I don't know, now we're heading into October, and I wanted to get one more September trip in before October, before it gets technically busier in October, but I don't know. Maybe it's always busy now, but I had a good time at Halloween Horror Nights. We'll be back to do all the stuff that we haven't done yet. But thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Have a great day, and goodbye.